Hello and welcome to this edition of Eat Right with Rouses. I'm your host, Keith Weissite, licensed clinical social worker with Terrebonne Home Care. Very glad you're joining us. However you may be joining us, we appreciate it as we welcome in our favorite dietitian, April Sins. Hello, April.
Hi, Keith. How are you today?
I am very well, but I got to tell you, I am really looking forward to today's segment.
Me too. Yes, so get ready to get hungry because this is a really good one.
I know it.
So we're going to have some fun today. We're going to be making some loaded tater tot nachos. Okay, so we're going to just be taking tater tots to a whole new level today. And you might be thinking, wait, loaded tater tot nachos? What?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me back up a little bit, and I'm going to tell you about taking a certain thing that you like and making it a vehicle to eat more vegetables. So we're going to be taking the tater tots that we know and love. We're going to cook those in the air fryer. I already have some that's already made in my little air fryer pot right here.
Golden brown.
The air fryer, what I love about it, it's like baking, but in a smaller container. So you could totally bake these. We just don't want to deep fry them in grease and then make them real oily. So we want to bake them and make them nice and crispy. And that's going to be less added fat. Now, one thing I want to show you, this is a really cool trick that I'm going to do first before I add to the loaded nachos, is I'm going to take a little taco seasoning and I'm going to add this to a little bit of sour cream. And this is a light sour cream. And what I want to remind you is when you get these little packets of seasoning, I did get the one that says 30% less sodium, but a lot of times they have a significant amount of sodium in it. You don't have to use the whole packet when you get those packets. That doesn't mean that one packet is a serving. You can stretch that packet over a couple of meals. Just use a little bit at a time if you like to use those convenient items. Or, of course, you can make your own at home as well. So I put a little bit in the sour cream just to kind of give it a little bit of fun whenever you eat it. But that's going to be one of the last things we're going to add on to our loaded nachos. So these are nice and hot. So you want to make these when you're ready to eat. You don't want to have them sitting around because they will get a little soggy if we add a bunch of things to it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these nachos, I'm going to put them into this plate. I called them nachos.
Yeah,
These tater
that's
tots,
what we're making,
into
right?
This plate. Right.
Tater tot nachos, you're right.
Tater tot nachos.
Yep.
And then while they're still warm, we're going to add a little bit of some cheese. I have the Mexican blend Rouse's cheese right here that's shredded. And so that makes it a nice addition to it. And then on top of that is where we're going to add some vegetables, but we're also going to add some protein. So before I add on my vegetables, I have a little bit of chicken breast that I just cooked in the pan, and then I chopped it up, and I'm going to add that on there too. So that protein combined, this is like a one pan dish right here.
Right.
And this can be used as like an appetizer, or it could be like your main meal. Everybody in the family can grab a dish and just dish out of it. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to load these tater tots with the vegetables. Okay, so I know y'all are going to love this dish. And what I love about this is it's super simple. If it's a holiday time and you're gathering with the family, I'm adding some lettuce right here. I'm going to add some tomatoes. But you can really have some fun with this. You could also make it, sometimes we talk about like making like a little, like a taco bar, adding your own things. You can make it like that too, where you build your own nachos, tater tot nachos as well. I have a little bit of some avocado right here, which adds such a great flavor and just makes such a nice color as well. I like to make these nachos really colorful, these tater tots really colorful. I'm using the terminology interchangeably, but because it really adds a lot to the eye appeal. And using fresh vegetables really just helps to do that. I have also some green onions. Ooh. And something that's actually really fun is to take some Rouse's black olives, which I have right here in the can. And these are like the diced up minced ones. And I'm just going to throw that on there. It kind of looks like a little bit of meat on there. Yeah. But I like the little black olives on there. And then the last thing I'm going to throw on is that little sour cream that we just made earlier. Yeah. And then if you like spice, you could take a little bit, I know some of us like a little bit of spice on there, a little bit of jalapeno on the top. And I mean, it just, look at this, Keith. Isn't this great? I mean, talk about a fun way to make your tater tots, but also add some nutrition with it. And then you got your protein from your chicken as well.
Wow, that's exceptional. You know, the other thing you can do to that is you can actually put a little, you can make it layered a little bit. You know, you can layer that with some tater tots, some cheese, some chicken, again, some of the vegetables, and layer it again. Make it a little bit higher and serve the whole family with it.
Oh, yeah.
You're right. You
totally
made us hungry.
Good. You can definitely make a bigger dish like this. You just add more ingredients. I mean, it's definitely one of those types of recipes where you don't really need a recipe, right? So you're just adding on those great ingredients that you love and adding some nutrition in here, keeping it really super simple, but also keeping it fun at the same time to where everybody in the family has something that they like right on this plate.
Yeah, it's perfect. And, you know, the other thing is that you're not using any grease. You're frying it in an air fryer. We're removing that grease, and you're adding some healthy fats with the avocado, some wonderful nutrients with the lettuce, tomatoes, the black olives, and a little bit of kick if you want it with the jalapenos. And, of course, adding just that very small amount of the taco seasoning to the sour cream. Some really great recommendations. April, you have succeeded once again. Something simple, something healthy, and boy, are we hungry. And so perfect as always.
Thanks so much, Keith. I'm glad you like it.
Absolutely. All right, guys, and that'll do it for this particular episode of Eat Right with Rouse's. Don't go anywhere. A whole lot more right here on HTV.